Hare Krishna, everyone. So I've shared the screen.
But
yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's chant the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamastoke Bhaktir Naistiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangrehe. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. Hope you had a good time and good happy weekend. Okay. So let's continue our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. I welcome you all on our ongoing discussion where we have been discussing about Lord Krishna through Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have discussed chapter number 7, where we discussed about the pastime of Amrish Maharaj with Durvasa Muni, and then at the end we discussed about the descendant of Mandhata and how this Harishchandra desired to have a son and Rohita, and we've seen how it Rohita made a performance of sacrifice for Harishchandra to Varuna. And today we'll be discussing more about the dynasty of, again it goes from the dynasty of the same, but here we'll discuss about the sons of Sagara Muni. So here what happened that in the lineage of Rohit, so after 6-7 lineage there was one king called as Bharuka, and after ruling for some time Bharuka had died and he had many wives, and one of his wife, or Bharuka's wife, she wanted to die in the fire of Bharuka as well. But there is a great rishi Aurava Muni, he forbade this wife not to die with that, because she was pregnant and it's not good to kill another child as well. And however, the other wives, they wanted to give poison so that this wife of Bahuka, she also died, also the son also dies. But by the will of providence, the child was born with poison, and that is why the name came as Sagara, and one who has born with poison. So Sagara, he came with the poison only. So the poison given to his mother by the other kind of other wives of Bahuka didn't kill her, rather the child was born. And then Sagar Maharaj became later on he became emperor of this whole kingdom, and then he had two wives. One is Sumati, and the second is Keshani. So Sumati has so many, I think nearly 10,000 son, 10 or 60,000, 60,000 sons, and they all were very, very powerful, and they also very proud of their power. And once Sagar Maharaj, he wanted to do a Ashwamedha Yajna, and by the advice of Aurava Muni. So Aurava Muni advised him to do a sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yajna, and then, as you know, the when we have the Ashwamedha Yajna, we have to put a horse, and that horse to goes around, and then it come back, and then Ashwamedha Yajna starts. Indra, as usual, Indra stole the horse, and then when the horse was being lost, so Sagar Maharaj, he actually asked this son of Shumiti, the powerful sons, that okay, you go and find out the horse. And this son, they search in so many places. They even dig the earth. However, in northeastern side, when they went, they could see the horse and near the ashram of Kapila Muni. Remember Kapila Muni in Canto 3, he gave the discourse of the knowledge to his mother Dehuti, and then he went for towards the place, the Ganges, eastern side. And then there, this son, of Shumati, they could see that beside the Kapil Muni ashram, the horse was there, and Kapil Muni was actually on meditation and closing his eyes. And they thought that this Muni has now taken the horse, and now he is closing his eyes. So they wanted to kill him. And as they wanted to kill him, and though Kapil Muni was closing his eyes, they also disrespected Kapil Muni, saying that he is the one who has taken the horse. And then by doing that, we have Agni, fire in our body. That fire within their body, it became so hot, and that by becoming their own fire, this all 60,000 sun, they got burned to ashes by their own fire. And then Sagar Maharaj, as Ashwamedha Yajna was going on, but they are waiting for the horse. Then Sagar Maharaj had another son called Asmanjas. Asmanjas from his second wife Keshini. So Keshini and Asmanjas also had another son called Aṁśumān. And Asmanjas was actually a great mystic. Asmanja was a great mystic from his previous birth. He has got all these mystic yogis remembered very well. And this, he used to actually disturb all the people, and by throwing the kids, very small kids, into the water of the depth of the kingdom, and hence he used to disturb all the kingdom. And the Sagar Maharaj was actually very much displeased with this son, and he was not happy by the act of Asmanjas. So he had made exile to his son. And when he was going to exile, actually by his mystic power, he brought back all the lives of the childs whom he had thrown in the water. And then he left the place of Ayodhya. So Sagar Maharaj actually lamented that, my son, actually he has good power, but due to some mischief works he has done it. And in the absence of his son, he was lamenting a bit as well. However, the other sons, they were also being killed. They died by their own fire. And then the Aṁśumān was being ordered by Sagara Muni to search the horse. So Aṁśumān, he started searching for the horse, and he reached the same place and found that the horse was there beside the Kapila Muni ashram, as well as there is a huge pile of ashes, 60,000 his grandfathers, the ashes were there as a huge pile. And then Aṁśumān could recognize Kapil Dev. He actually offered his prayer to Kapil Dev. He even glorified Kapil Dev, saying that even Brahma cannot understand you completely, and the jivas are always in the modes of they're bind with these three modes, and they could not understand you properly. And all the sages who are freed from all the modes, they can actually see you, and you are beyond this material nature, and you is one who is always free from lust. And by knowing you, the people also can be free from lust as well. And then he glorifies more. And then Kapiladev, he was completely pleased by the prayers of Aṁśumān, and then he explained the path of knowledge to him. The same as he explained the path knowledge to Mother Devati, he explained the path in a very, very brief to Aṁśumān. And then Lord Kapiladeva, he said to Aṁśumān that, my dear Aṁśumān, here is the animal or the horse which by your grandfather for sacrifices, and you can take him back, and so you can do the sacrifice. However, this the forefathers or this grandparents who are burned to ashes, they can only be delivered when they can be delivered by the Ganges water only, and no, not any other activity will work for to deliver these people, these your forefathers. So just try to bring Mother Ganges down so that it can deliver these forefathers. And therefore that Aṁśumān again prayed to Kapila Muni. He circumambulated to Kapila Muni and offered his prayers and obeisances to Kapila Muni by bowing his head. And then after fully satisfying Kapiladev, he came back, and Aṁśumān brought back the horse which was meant for sacrifice. The sacrifice has been done, and with that horse, Maharaj sacrifice performed his ritualistic ceremony very well, and Sagara Maharaj then handed the charge of his kingdom to Aṁśumān, and then he achieved his supreme destination. So right now the kingdom has been given to Aṁśumān to rule ahead. And in this way, chapter 8 describes the pastimes of how this Sagara Maharaj born, how he's born by taking the poison, and then his sons from these two wives. And Aṁśumān, in chapter 9 it says that Aṁśumān, he performed austerities, and because he wanted to deliver his forefathers, the all 60,000 grandparents, they have been burned to the ashes by their own fire, and has been advised by Kapila Muni that they will be only delivered by the Ganges water. So he wanted to bring Ganges down, and he performed very, very severe austerity. However, he could not do this. He could not completely bring Ganges down. So in due course of time, he died. And as he has a desire that Ganges should come back, so Aṁśumān's son is called as Dilip, and eventually Dilip got died as well, and his son's called as Bhagīratha. So Bhagīratha also wanted to deliver all the forefathers, and he performed austerities to bring Ganges back, or Ganges to this material world. And by the austerity of Bhagīratha, the Mother Ganges, she got pleased, and when she pleased, she appeared before him and asked him for, she wanted to give some benediction to Bhagīratha. So Bhagīratha then explained that he had desire to deliver his forefather, and that can only happen when you or Mother Ganges come down to this material world. And that Mother Ganges said that, okay, I can come down, I will fall. However, the force by which I will come, that will be too high, and then it might pierce the surface of this earth and enter into the lower planet as well. So just be cautious of that. And also, when I go to the lower planets, all the inhabitants of these lower planets who are actually greatly sinful, they will wash themselves in the river Ganges, and they will wash their sin by taking bath, by taking shower, by taking bathing in the water of Ganges. So when someone's bath in the Ganges, there are so many sins being taken by this Mother Ganges. And then she said that, as I will accumulate so much sin, because all sinful people will take bath in me, and then they will purify themselves, and all the sins will be with me. And then how shall I become free from them? Because I will become so much sin, acquiring all the sins of all these sinful peoples. and you should consider this very carefully. The two things is that one, when I'll come, it will show huge force so that I'll pierce this no, earth and I'll go down to the lower planet. And the second thing is that when I go to the lower planet, the sinful people who are there, they will take bath in me. By bathing, they will purify their sins and I will take their sins. So please consider both of them, and how I will be free from these sins by acquiring those sins. And then Aṁśumān that replied that uh, when the devotee of Lord who keep Lord in their heart, and when they would take bath in you, that will counteract the sin accumulated from the sinful persons. So we discussed earlier as well, tirthi kurvanti tirthani. So the devotees who are great, no, pure devotees who keep themselves or who keep Krishna within their heart, they have the qualification, they have the power to purify the surroundings. And the similar way Suman said that these great devotees who keep Lord within their heart, when they will bath, this you will be your sins will be counteracted, which you have acquired through the sinful person. So even we see in Mother Gange, people go there to take bath for cleaning their sins, but there are so many great devotees that take bath there as well, and the similar way the counteracts the sin of Ganges happens. And then he said that Lord Shiva, who is the incarnation of Lord, he will be able to hold your force in his head. And by saying that, Bhagīratha, he went to do sacrifice, not sacrifice, he do meditate on Lord Shiva and to please him. And he pleased him, basically Bhagīratha satisfied somehow the other Lord Shiva by sacrifices and in austerities. And then when Lord Shiva appeared, he was satisfied by the Bhagīrathas, and then he agreed that okay, I'll sustain the forceful waves of the Ganges. So that's how we see the Mother Ganges, Lord Shiva takes the force within his head when Mother Ganges comes in this material world. And then accordingly, as being pleased by Bhagīratha, Lord Shiva agreed to that. And when then Mother Gange came, and Mother Ganges being taken care by Lord Shiva as well. And by this Bhagīratha had a great chariot. And when Mother Ganges she came into this material world, Bhagīratha was guiding where to go, and with a great speed he was running with the chariot, and Mother Ganges was following him. And then he went to the same place where there was huge pile of ashes were there, the forefathers are also there. And then Mother Ganges sprinkled, and then the water of Mother Ganges being sprinkled in that, and the forefathers, they became eligible to go to the heavenly planet. And Prabhupada says, just sprinkling of the water or to that, these forefathers, they all been delivered. And what is to said when we use the water of Mother Ganges to worship her? So normally when we go to Ganges, we actually take Ganges in our palm and then we offer to herself. Though we are actually offering Ganges water to please Ganges by the water of herself only. So you use same water Ganges to please or to serve or to worship Mother Ganges, right? And then in this way Bhagīratha could deliver the forefathers. And also we see, because of this Bhagīratha, we are fortunate actually to see Mother Ganges in this material world too. And then Mother Gange is so purifying that sprinkling of water, the whole forefathers, they actually elevated to the heavenly planet. And then Mother Ganges is being worshipped by the water, and because Mother Ganges emanates from the lotus toe of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Remember we discussed about in Canto 5 as well, how Mother Ganges came, and also in previous chapters where Vamanadev, when he expanded himself, his toe broke this universal cell, and Mother Ganges from casual ocean, she came to this material world. And then she is also able to liberate one from the metal bondage. And bathing in the Ganges is recommended in all Vedas and Shastras, and one who takes to the path will certainly be completely free from all sinful reactions. So Prabhupada explains that, we go and take shower to bathe ourselves on the Mother Ganges to clean our sin. However, the desire of sin is still there. When we come out, we start engaging ourselves in doing sinful activities. But the person who takes the path of Krishna consciousness, the desire to do sin, which is there in the heart, that becomes uprooted. So there is no more desire to do sin. Right. So that's the difference between this taking shelter of Ganges and bathing there, which actually cleanses our sins, but the desire still remain there. But when a person takes the path of Krishna consciousness, the desire of doing sin also being taken care by Lord Hari. It will be uprooted actually, and in that place the seed of bhakti is being sown. And then it described that Bhagīratha had a son called Sruta, and Sruta has a Nabha, and in the similar way, their lineage being described. And in that lineage, there was a king called as Sarvakama, and Sarvakama has a son called Sudasa, and Sudasa has a son Saudasha. So Saudasha, he has different name, and he's been cursed one by Vasishtha Muni to become a demon or Rakshasa or kind of man-eater. So Parikshit Maharaj inquired that what happened and why was this Vasishtha cursed this great soul, Saudasha, and I would like to hear it please described in a more detail. So Shukdev Goswami, answering to Parikshit Maharaj, he said that once Saudasa has killed a Rakshasa or a demon, but he left his brother, and that brother, the brother of Rakshasa, he had a desire, or no, he wanted to take revenge, and somehow or other he managed to become a cook in the kingdom of Saudasa. So he became a king, and one day this king Saudasa, he invited Vasishtha Muni. Vasishtha Rishi, no, it's a very custom to invite great souls to home and offer prasadam and other things. And then when Vasishtha Muni was being offered food, this cook had kind of offered him a human flesh. So Vasishtha Muni could actually understand that this is not fit for eating, and he immediately cursed Saudasa to become a man-eater. So, however, later on he understood that this was not done by the king, and he also undertook 12 years of austerity to cleanse himself. And then Saudasa thus acquired the propensity of man-eater by the curse of Vasishtha Rishi. So once what happened in this time, he was roaming here in the forest, and he could see a Brahmana and Brahmani. They were engaged in mating in the forest, and this King Sodasa, who has a propensity of eating man now by the curse, he actually seized the Brahmana and wanted to eat him. And that the wife of the Brahmana, the Brahmini, she requested him not to do so, and also she praised him that no, you are a king and you are a protector, and you should not kill this Brahmana, and this Brahmana is actually sinless, and also he is my husband, and I need a child, and also I cannot live without him. She tried to make her point as much as possible to this king, but because of the curse, this king Sudasa actually he ate the flesh of Brahmana, and then this Brahmani who became angry, and she cursed him, saying that you will also die whenever you try to associate with your wife. As I wanted to have association of my husband to begot a children, and you have killed my sinless husband, a Brahmana. And in a similar way, you will also die as soon as you want to associate with your wife. And then she put herself in the fire after putting fire to her husband. And then after 12 years, this Saudasa was released from his curse. So it took 12 years for Saudasa, and he was remaining as a man-eater. And when Saudasa came back to his own original form, he is free from the curse. He wanted to associate with his wife. And however, his wife reminded him about the curse what he has got from this Brahmani earlier. And then, but anyway, he has a desire to get a son. So he requested Vasishtha Muni to be got a child in the womb of his wife, or Madhyanti. And what happened after that? This Vasishtha Rishi, he begot a child in the womb of Madhyanti by the request of king and his permission. And this child remained in the womb for 7 years. And the Vasishtha Rishi, after saying that it's already 7 years, and then he struck the abdomen with a stone, and the child was born. And as the child was born, his name was kept as Asmaka or Asmaka, because the child was born of a stone. And then a bit lineage described that Asmaka has a son called as Balika, and then Sudeva Goswami says that when Parsuram vanquished all the Kshatriyas, this Balika, who became the progenitor of this more Kshatriyas, and therefore he was known as Mulaka, because he was the root of Kshatriya dynasty. And then Balika has his son as Dasaratha, Adwa, and in this lineage it comes a great king called as Khaṭvāṅga. And the king Khaṭvāṅga, he was very, very powerful as well, and he was unconquerable in any other fight. So once he's been requested by the Devatas to join in a fight with demons, and he agreed to do the fight, and he made the Devatas won the fight against the demons. And then this demigod, the Devatas, they wanted to give a boon to Khaṭvāṅga, King Khaṭvāṅga, because King Khaṭvāṅga has done a great favor for him to fight with these demons. However, King Khaṭvāṅga, he inquired them that how much duration of his life is left. So imagine he's asking that how much time does he has left for more living in this body. And then the Devatas informed that he had just only one moment, and the one moment is described as 48 minutes, right? So then, as soon as you know that, okay, I just have only one moment left for my give up this body, this life, and then he immediately forget everything, all his kingdom, keep it aside, and he engaged his mind completely on the lotus feet of Lord Hari immediately. And then the Devatas, it being said that Devata, the directors of all the three worlds, they wanted to give me whatever benediction I desired, and I did not want their benedictions. However, because I am interested in Supreme Personality of Godhead, who created everything in this material world, I am more interested in Supreme Personality of Godhead than in any other material benediction. So that is why he said, I do not want any of the other appearances. I just wanted to know when the time is. And as told by the Devata that we got just only one moment, he meditated on Lord Hari for that moment. And it's being also this King Khaṭvāṅga names comes many a time, because he could get the supreme destination just in a one muhurta or 48 minutes, and he gave up everything, and he surrendered to Lord, and in his original position of eternal servitor, he engaged himself in rendering service to the Lord. So he was completely absorbed he completely absorbed his mind in serving Lord. As we know that we everyone has a different or unique relationship with Krishna. So he somehow or other he engaged himself in worshipping Lord Hari, and then he went back to the spiritual world. And in a similar way, this in 2 chapters, so we see about the Sagara Maharaj, and then Aṁśumān, then how Bhagīratha brings this Ganges to this material world, and Saudasha and King Khaṭvāṅga. So this is how we end chapter number 9. And chapter number 10 actually it speaks about Lord Ramchandra. So okay, let's see how much we can go on with that. And this chapter 10, Sukadeva Goswami said that the son of Maharaj Khaṭvāṅga was Dirgha Bahu, and his son was celebrated as Maharaj Raghu. And from Maharaj Raghu, there is son, his came as Aja, and Aja, from Aja, there was a great personality born whose name was Maharaj Dasaratha. So Khaṭvāṅga and Dirgha Bahu, then Raghu, and then Aja, and then Maharaj Dasaratha came. And being prayed by the Devatas, the supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth himself, he directly actually appeared with his expansion and expansion of expansion. So expansion, his expansion is Sankarshan, and the Chaturvyo, this Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna, they all these four, they came here in the son of Maharaj Dasaratha. So this actually Devatas, they went to Lord Vishnu and said that this Ravana is actually making so much havoc, and we need to take care of him somehow or other. And then Lord assured that don't worry, I will come soon, and I will come soon. And he said that this Ravana, though he has got so many power, but he by thinking this monkeys, very very small creatures, he didn't ask the boon of monkey, and I will come as a human being, and with this help of monkeys, I will kill this Ravana. By showing this to all the Devatas, and Lord Rama has said that I will appear in the lineage of Dasharath Maharaj, and that is there are some, this name came as Rama, Lakshmana, Bharatan, Shatrughan, and these are all Vishnu Tattva. They are all equally powerful, and becomes the son of Maharaj Dasaratha. And Lord assured him that okay, I will come there. So Sukadeva Goswami, he said that Parishit Maharaj, actually you have heard about Lord Rama again and again, so I will describe them in a very very brief. So very very briefly, in 2 or 3 chapters, this whole discussion of Ramayana is being described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And he said that nicely, that to keep the promise of his father intact, Lord Ramchandra immediately gave up the position of king, and accompanied by his wife Mother Sita, wandered from one forest to another on his lotus feet, which were so delicate that they were unable to bear even the touch of Sita's palm. The Lord was also accompanied by Hanuman, or by another other monkeys, Sugriva, the king of monkeys, and by his own younger brother Lord Lakshmana, both of whom gave him relief from the fatigue of wandering in the forest. Having cut off the nose and ears of Surpanakha, thus disfiguring her, the Lord was separated from Mother Sita. He therefore became angry, and moving his eyebrows, and thus frightened the ocean, who then allowed the Lord to construct a bridge to cross the ocean. Subsequently, the Lord entered the kingdom of Ravana to kill him, like a fire devouring a forest. So may that Supreme Lord Ramachandra gives us all protection. So just before describing the pastimes of Lord Rama, Sukadeva Goswami, in a very nicely in two sloka, narrate the story, the pastimes of Lord Rama. He said that he glorifying that how he associated with Hanuman and Sugriva, and how this he made the bridge on the ocean, and how his wife Mother Sita was being taken by Ravana, and then he went there to kill Ravana. And after glorifying this, he's saying that may this Supreme Lord Ramachandra give us all protection. So he's asking for his protection. And then may Lord Ramachandra be kind enough to give us all the protection who killed many demons. So then he said that he broke Lord Shiva bow to accept Mother Sita as his wife, and who was equally as endowed with transcendental qualities of form, beauty, behavior, age, and nature. Indeed, she was the goddess of fortune who constantly rests on the chest of the Lord. So she was again glorifying Mother Sita. So in this context, there is a nice pastime wherein says that Lord Ramchandra has broke this bow. This actually, this bow of Lord Shiva is also uh, being said that a kind of uh, arrogance or proudness of all these kings, or the ego of these kings, who is actually within our own self, but no one is trying to break it out. But Lord Rama, when we take the name of Lord Rama, it is broken very nicely. The ego of persons goes away by taking the name of Lord Ram. And then also there is a nice pastime wherein said why did uh, Janaka Maharaj, he kept this vow to whomsoever can break this vow, Lord Shiva bow, or who can put this thread on this bow, can actually marry Mother Sita. So what happened? I've heard it. I'll just share this story the past time. So once what happened? So the bow is very very heavy, and it's being taken care by so many soldiers to lift it. But once Janaka Maharaj has seen that Mother Sita was child, not grown up as well, but once she was cleaning that place, and she could lift this bow very nicely in one hand, and she was cleaning the surface. That bow, which is very difficult to be lifted by even by many soldiers, the army, and but Mother Sita could lift very nice, very easily. And that is how on that day, and the Janaka Maharaj thought that no, she is not a any common girl, or any no. That's why anyone who could lift this bow and put this thread and broke it, the person will be only eligible to marry her. That is why we see that whole the ceremony of Mother Sita's marriage happens, right? So, and then Sukadeva Goswami explained that the Lord Ramachandra left his kingdom by the order of his father. That was a promise. His father has given a promise to his wife, and then his wife asked to fulfill his promise. So his father has to order Ramchandra to leave the kingdom, and he went to forest. We all know about the Kaikeyi. Uh, she wanted the two boons, that Ramchandra should go to Vanvas, and this Bharat, he should become the king. Though Bharat Maharaj was actually not there present apparently at this time in the kingdom, and but this happened. We all know very nicely this past time how Manthara poisoned Mother Kaikeyi. And when Lord went to the forest along with Mother Sita and Lord Lakshmana, they also accompanied him, and he deformed Ravana's sister, who was polluted with lusty desire, and she wanted to she wanted to Lord Rama as her husband, but Lord Rama, he is one Patni Vrata in that incarnation, and so and he killed 14,000 Rakshas headed by Khara, Trisha, and Dusana alone. And then at the end, he also killed a 10-headed Ravana, So this Ravana, who heard about that, the beautiful or attractive features of Mother Sita, his mind was agitated with lusty desires, and he wanted to kidnap her. And then Ravana, he sent he, Maricha, uh, Marichi, Marichi in the form of a golden deer to distract Lord Rama. And there's a nice pastimes comes here about actually this Marichi Rishi. He instructed Ravana that you should not you should not try to do this because you do not know who Rama is. And the devotee explained that he took uh, Ravana towards Patal Lok, and there was a huge ring was there, and Marichi Rishi said that, okay, could you lift this huge ring? And Ravana could not actually lift it. And then he said, this ring used to be your earring sometime when you are Rinaksha. And that time, this Ram, he came as Bara, and just by a slap of his, you became died. No, you died just by a slap of him. And right now you are doing the same mistake again, and you wanted to fight with Ram. So then he said, okay. However, Ravana, he was polluted by his mind. He said, you want to follow my order, or shall I kill you? Then Marichi said, okay, anyway, I'm going to get killed by either by becoming a golden deer or by your hand. So it's better to get killed by Lord Ram. So he followed he followed the instruction of Ravana and became a golden deer, and he distracted Ram, and is being killed by Ram. And so I think we'll discuss from here the pastimes ahead tomorrow, like how this Lord Krishna performed, Lord Ram performed the other ceremony of Jatayu, how he made other people on his journey to find Mother Sita, and how Lord Ram, actually being Supreme Lord, he played like an normal human being who is suffering the pain, but it's just to give a teaching to us. Lord Ram never has any miseries or any suffering. It's just to give us understanding that yes, this is world is like that, right? And ending is very nicely that is being said that the name of Lord Ram is more auspicious than Lord Ram himself. We'll discuss this point again tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any thought? Please let me know.
Hare Krishna, Babaji.
Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to know, like, all these lineages that we are discussing before Rama, all these other names, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did these guys, we don't know about these guys, right? So who was noting all these lineages down?
Yes, so this all is being given to knowledge to by Vyasadeva to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami is narrating the same to Parikshit Maharaj. And in that session, Suta Goswami was present there, and he is speaking the same thing to Sonakadi rishis.
Okay.
So Vyasadeva, he's again in later incarnation of Lord Krishna. He has written all the scriptures, so he has given all knowledge to Sukadeva Goswami.
Okay. And all these other stories, like there's this one story which you said, like, this kid was there in the mother's womb for 7 months or 7 years. 7 years. So yeah. Are these just like philosophical stories? Because it's humanly impossible, right? To sort of.
No, it's not impossible. These are not philosophical stories. These are facts. If you see the Sukadeva Goswami was there in the womb for 16 years. The one which we are hearing about this, all this Srimad Bhagavatam was told by Sukadeva Goswami. He was there in the womb of his mother for 16 years, right? And we see about this, let's say there are so many things which looks to be contradicting, but these are fact. And let's see this Kauravas, 100 Kauravas. how did they came? You know, they're not just came by like 100 sons. They are being there's a lamp of flesh being came out, and then the rishis they put them in hundreds of pots, and 100 sons came out from there. Like right now we are trying to do for test tube babies, so it's all
Right.
there.
Right. Right. Yeah, I understand that. Cool. Thank you so
So
much.
yeah, the thing is that these scriptures are completely fact. The only thing that we are not that advanced, or maybe you are not so much onto those to understand these things, but these are the facts. So that is how science fights with the scriptures, like that. No, it's not, and doesn't look logical or illogical things, but these are completely fact. There is no see, just for example, you see that how the Brahmastra, just for example, right?
Mm.
Understand, as a Brahmastra, by giving Brahmastra, whole universe can be destroyed. Just imagine, so powerful. Can you believe it? But it was there. It has been there, isn't it?
Mm.
Even earlier, they used to fight. We will see it in ninth canto coming ahead as well. Uh, for the name of the king. Uh, about the name of the king, and he has 1,000 hands, and he's fighting with Parshurama with 1,000 hands, and he's giving arrows.
1,000
Yeah.
friends.
Shastra Bahu Prabhu you're talking about.
Yes, his
Yeah,
name is.
Shastra Bahu. Yeah.
Mm.
So just imagine.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there are so many things they are written in scriptures actually.
Mm. Mm.
And just see that the Lord Rama. Do you think that Lord Rama has to go through these kind of miseries? Never, no, not required. If he wanted to kill Ravana, he is sitting inside as a Paramatma. He just switch off the heartbeat, finished. But
Mm.
but he wanted to uh, kind of show his kind of glorious to all the devotees, so that we can discuss about Lord Rama. Though he is doing these pastimes, even Lord Krishna, he has done so many leelas. Just we'll see in coming canto, 10 canto. Putana, just in 3 or 5 days, killed Putana. Can we imagine that it 3 years child can suck the life through the breast by drinking mother's milk? It's not possible. Just
Mm.
imagine. Yeah, but Krishna is that he can do whatever he wishes. So that is how it's said that no, Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Whatever he want, he can do it.
Mhm.
Just by his thought, anything is possible.
Right. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam
Ki
ki
jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki jai.
Jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Jai.